Double T 97.3 High School Fan Zone, featuring the Lubbock Westerners on Lubbock Sports Station.
You got the High School Fan Zone on Double T 97.3 and the Double T 97.3 mobile app already in progress. As we now welcome the head coach of the 1-0 Lubbock County Westerners, Jason Strunk, into the AIM Bank studio. Coach, I mean, I obviously know the answer to this question, but team morale's got to be pretty high right now.
Yeah, it's extremely high. And the great thing is it's been high since August 7th when we started. So they did nothing but build on top of that on Friday night. So morale's high. The atmosphere is great. It's been that way since August 7th. And, just coming out and winning game one like that in overtime at home was fantastic for all of us. The
Westerners win 20-17 in overtime, as Coach Strunk just mentioned, against the Seminole Indians to open up the 2017 season. Again, it hadn't happened since 2000. I believe you said before that it's been much longer than that.
Right.
I mean, how does it feel to be 1-0?
It's great, and I think it depends on where you're at, and understanding the circumstances behind things. I mean, I understand the circumstances at Lubbock High. It's the first time we've done that in 17 years. When I first started coaching from 1996 to 2007, I think I lost one opener. From 2008 up until last night, I've lost everyone. So it's been a tale of two careers there, I guess. But open up 1-0 at Lubbock High has its own significant meaning, and I think it's awesome. Coaches, we came in Saturday. We were fired up. We got to work. Morale's great. So it was a fantastic experience. And I can't go without saying this. I mean, it was great for our entire school. The student section rushed the field after the game. It's good for the culture of the school, good for the morale of the entire building. So it was fantastic.
How'd you feel about the students rushing the field?
For 5 minutes, it was a blur. Mm-hmm. We won, and, it was just kind of, pandemonium. And I have no problem with it. I mean, I think it was a good thing. They didn't do anything bad. They weren't ripping field goal posts down. I think it was just one of those things that happened, spur of the moment. It wasn't orchestrated. It wasn't like a ridiculous bat flip by like these Major League Baseball players that makes me want to, get mad. These guys, it was pure emotion and love for their school, and that's where it came from, and that's what happened. I think it was awesome.
I'm sure it was also, like you said, how it came being the last play of the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, it was great.
What was the play call there?
We went Ace B, Colt Key is the name of the play, and it's an option play, and our quarterback went through the read progression and gave the ball to Isaiah, instead of throwing it. So,
and Isaiah made a play.
I mean, to say he made a play is an understatement. I mean, I have never seen that kind of a run. I've been around a long time, and I hate saying that because it means I'm old. But I've been around a long time, saw a lot of good football players, and I've never seen a player single-handedly make a play like that on his own. It was incredible. I mean, when he took the ball, I'm watching, and it looks like a rugby scrum. Everyone's meshed together, and you see it move. And I know how that usually goes. 99% of the time, okay, it's a 5-yard gain. I remember looking at my play sheet and thinking 2nd and 5, and a split second later, I look up and he's gone. He's running in the end zone untouched. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like that before. He just ran through everybody.
The Westerners get a 20-17 win in overtime. Well, speaking of overtime, do you like the overtime rules? I know college and high school are very similar. The NFL is something else. What is your take on overtime rules in general in high school, I guess?
You want me to be honest?
Sure.
I think the NFL overtime is garbage. Mm-hmm. High school and college football is where it's at, and that's why we're the last pure form of football. So I loved the setup the other night. I love how high school and college does it. Declares a true winner in a true way, I believe. So I loved it. It was fantastic. It was good. I said fantastic 3 times now, so I'm going to stop saying that. But it was great. I loved how it all went down. The coin flip. We won that, and we elected to go defense. I just think that's the way to go. It's done the right way.
First game of the season, you just got done with fall camp, but do you guys practice overtime rules? When was the last time the Westerners have been in an overtime game?
Not since I've been here.
Really?
Last overtime game for me was 2006. I was coaching at Northampton High School, and we lost to Whitehall High School, 27-26. We shanked the extra point.
So is there extra coaching in that little few minutes you have at the end of regulation and the start? Or?
No, you just roll with it. You go. You're starting at the 25-yard line, and that's it. And the kids have been around enough. They know.
They've watched football.
They watch it. They know. And there was no hesitation. When Isaiah hit the end zone, our kids rushed the field. I mean, so they knew what was going on.
If you got a question from Coach Strunk, get your text into the Schlotsky's text line 75044. We'll answer your question there. Wanted to ask you also some of the support you're getting around town as well. Some local restaurants putting up. Congratulations, Westerners. You're on several media outlets. Team of the week. How exciting is that for you guys to get such a spotlight here early on in the season?
It's good. It's a lot of fun. These are hardworking kids, and anybody who knows me knows I wear my emotions on my sleeves when I talk about my kids. They're hard workers. They do everything we ask them to do. They show up. They play football. They want to win. Sometimes it's not ideal circumstances for it, but they don't care. They just battle. I battle with them, and I'm like a dad, and I'm overprotective of them. They get dirt kicked in their face a lot. So to open up with an overtime win over a state-ranked team is tremendous. And the support we've seen from like Slim Chickens, the sign they put up, KCBD, Team of the Week. It's been awesome. So it's good for our kids, and if it's good for our kids, I'm all on board. It's about them, not us.
A 20-17 overtime win in Week 1. Coming up next for the Westerners will be a game at Andrews this Friday night at 7:30. We'll break that down. We'll also look more into this previous game against Seminole. Some other guys besides Isaiah Johnson making big things happen. We'll talk on that here in just a few moments. It's the Westerner Fan Zone on Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com.
We know you want to listen to us, so listen to us wherever you are. Check us out online on your smartphone or tablet. Listen to the shows you love and never miss one of our golden words again. Take us with you. Download the Double T 97.3 app now. Get the latest scores and updates from Lubbock High Athletics. Just text Westerner to 75044 and receive the latest news from Double T 97.3. Now, the Westerner Fan Zone on Double T 97.3.
It's the Westerner Fan Zone on Double T 97.3, the Double T 97.3 mobile app as well. Here with head coach Jason Strunk of the Westerners. They get a 20-17 overtime win last Friday night against the Seminole Andrews. Before we touch on that game, I did want to ask you this. Since the NFL season is starting this Thursday, do you have a Super Bowl prediction? Do you predict things out that far in advance?
Yeah, I usually write about it in my blog and stuff. I've been a Steelers fan since 1978, basically. So I live and die with the black and gold of the Steelers and the Westerners. And I'm just going to say this. I think the Steelers will make the AFC Championship game. They will lose to the Patriots again. And the Patriots will win another one because Tom Brady is the best ever and Bill Belichick is the best ever, and nobody can refute that. So until those two guys are gone, I'm always going to go with them.
You speak about the blog. It's called The Turnaround on highschoolfootballamerica.com. Do you enjoy writing?
Yeah, I love it. I have an English degree. A few years ago, Jeff Fisher asked me to start doing it. And I've always enjoyed writing. It's funny because when I was a kid, I didn't do well, in school reading-wise and writing. I figured out that I need to write and read things I enjoy, and that was the New York Times and New York Times crossword puzzles and Sports Illustrated. So from there I took off and studied it in college, and I love literature and writing. It's fun. It's a good release for me.
Well, let's get to this Westerner game from last week. Again, a 20-17 overtime win over Seminole, and a couple of guys that stood out, I'm sure, to you as well. Christian Coleman having himself a nice game, catching 2 touchdowns, and then you had mentioned Kwame Wilborn, not only through the air but with his feet, was able to move the offense for the Westerners. Yeah,
those guys did well. I think Coleman has got maybe 5 touchdown passes and 2 scrimmages in the game so far. He's a vertical deep threat. He can catch you underneath stuff. He's a guy that can stretch you vertical, and he's a possession receiver all in one. He understands the offense. He's always where he needs to be. So he's been great. And Kwame the other night was 14-21, and I'll take that. I'll take it. He did well. He didn't force anything. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He made plays with his feet because we're getting beat up front all night long in the run game. They kind of took it to us. We thought that could happen with Seminole's defense. Then Isaiah Johnson, 19 carries for 68 yards. That's a workman-like performance. And every time he touched the ball, he had 3, 4, 5, 6, at times 7 guys from Seminole on him, hitting him. And he just kept coming back and back. And that's their game plan. We're going to stick with it. And those guys executed. They did a great job.
Kind of a slow starting game for the Westerners. I mean, Seminole goes up 7-0 in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Reese Moore had a 22-yard touchdown pass from Jordan Rodriguez. But at halftime, was there a certain message, you guys being down?
Saying we started slow is being nice. We were pathetic in the first half. And I told the kids that we had 30 yards. And look, I understood what we were going up against up front. We're young on the offensive line on one side, and we're playing a team with experience went 4 rounds deep. So we thought we'd have some trouble. But there's some things we missed and some things we weren't doing technique-wise that we knew we could fix. So at halftime, we went in, we made 0 adjustments. I want to emphasize that, 0 adjustments. We didn't need to. The stuff we wanted to run was there. We weren't executing. We weren't getting off the ball. And when you're not getting off the ball, it doesn't matter how many plays I have or what I create or what we fix. It's not going to work unless you play. So I was nice and calm, at halftime. Said, hey, we're not getting anything done. The stuff we want to run is there. Focus up. Go out there and play the best 24 minutes you've got. And I told them flat out, I said, you will win this game in the fourth quarter on conditioning. They went out and they did it. So it was a win-win for me. It was a good night.
To open up the third quarter, the Westerners did score. Christian Coleman, a 31-yard touchdown pass from Kwame Wilburn. Then Seminole scored a 6-yard run by Aaron Dominguez in the fourth quarter. And then there towards the end with 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Christian Coleman once again, an 8-yard pass from Kwame Wilburn to tie it. What does it say about your team that they do not give up, even though it is late and they are down?
Yeah, and that's always been a trademark of us. We'll never give up and roll over and die. We're going to battle. When you play us, you're going to get our best effort every week, and we hang our hat on that. The difference the other night was we played hard, and we finally executed in crunch time. Kwame threw 2 footballs that were placed perfectly to Coleman. That 8-yard touchdown was placed perfectly. And I got to say this, our defense was phenomenal all night. I mean, without them, we don't win this game. We're talking offense. Our defense won that game for us. Our offense just came up big when we needed it. Christian Jimenez had 16 tackles and a sack, and he had 54 yards receiving. He is a stud. I can't wait to watch him continue to play.
And, of course, Isaiah Johnson, 25-yard touchdown run to win the game for the Lubbock High Westerners. 1-0 Lubbock High Westerners for the first time since 2000. We'll come back. We'll close up shop. We'll also preview the game versus the Andrews Mustangs. It'll be this Week 2 game for the Lubbock High Westerners. All that and more coming up on the Westerner Fan Zone. It's Flores, it's Strunk, it's you on Double T 97.3 and Double T97.3.com.
You're listening to the Westerner Fan Zone.
To Westerner Fan Zone on Double T 97.3, Double T 97.3 mobile app as well. We'll close up shop here on this Tuesday evening. Last call for text on the Schlonsky's text line. Get a question into Coach Strunk, 75044. We touched on the game a little bit, Coach. We also touched on the big play at the end there with Isaiah Johnson. Isaiah Johnson did finish with 8 carries for 56 yards, including that touchdown. Coming back on this Monday, Labor Day yesterday, no school, but you also mentioned that it was kind of a good practice, a fun practice, that they were really focused coming back in.
Yeah, yesterday on Labor Day, real good practice. Coming off the weekend, of course, we came in on Saturday and worked. Came back on Monday and yesterday. And yesterday we had the longest practice of the season because there was just things we had to do, and I told them that. And my whole thing is respect the process. I mean, they knew what had to go into the Labor Day practice. No complaints. They showed up. They did it. They did it well. They worked hard. And they came back today and have an even better day. It's just a group of kids that gets it right now. And I think the key for us, our mantra is respect the process. What goes into it. You signed up for this. See it through and respect what we're doing. Understand why we do it.
It'll be a game against the Andrews Mustangs at Andrews this Friday night, a 7:30 kickoff. Last season, the Andrews did get the better half of the Westerners, 28-16. Can you take away anything from last year's game coming into this year, or is it completely different? Both sides of the ball.
They didn't play well last year on either side of the ball. Gave up a 99-yard touchdown pass after we pinned them on the one. We didn't do much on offense, and I felt we could have. Andrews was really good last year. Had one of the state's best quarterbacks. We shut them out in the second half. I think they scored on pick 6. I think that was it. I think that's all they scored on in the second half. And we lost 28-16. It's a game we've played. This is the 6th straight year. We've won 2, lost 3. And it's always evenly matched. It's always a good game. Coach Mason is a good guy, a guy I really respect, in Texas, and I have a good relationship with him. It's always fun to get there and play in the Mustang Bowl. Mm-hmm. That was the slave of my first win in Texas. So hope we get back down there so we can duplicate that.
Coach Mason, you mentioned his 6th season for the Andrews Mustangs. They're returning 6 starters on offense, 6 starters on defense. Last year they scored a lot of points with their gunslinger. Now they have to replace him and several other talent on defense. Now let's go to your guys' side of the ball. What is y'all's game plan, or what is y'all's focus not only in practice but leading up to the game?
Offensively, there's a lot of things we had to clean up from Friday night. One, we weren't physical up front. We need to change that. We're working on steps today and different things. Cleaning up some communication mix-ups that we had. But what we did the other night, we had 0 procedure penalties, no false starts, no turnovers. We need to duplicate that again. It sounds impossible to do that every week, but the closest we can get to that, we're going to be okay. Defensively, the key is to get pressure on them. They like to throw the football. Last year, we got some pressure on them, but we dropped 8 guys as well, so we're getting pressure with a 3-man rush. Nate Gensler, I can't say enough about our defensive coordinator. He's done a fantastic job since I made him DC. He's been great. So winning last week, I know he's going to have a good plan. This week, we need to shut down their passing game. Yeah, that's for sure. You
mentioned no procedures, no offsides. Is that, do y'all spend extra time on practicing on that, or is that strictly just the kids, like you've said plenty of times already, they just get it?
I've been harping on that since January. And if you ever come into our weight room and see our weight room and all the stuff that we've added and how it looks with new equipment and things like that and how we rack weights, each weight and each rack is counted specifically with a set number of weights. Everything has to be squared up in that weight room. There's certain lines that machines have to be on, and they got to make sure it's done every day when we leave that locker room. Attention to detail. Been doing that since January. I said 1 rack of weights not counted right with a weight out of place is a false start. We go out on Friday night, no false starts, no procedure penalties, attention to detail. So hopefully that carried over.
The Lubbock County Westerners 1-0 on the season. Again, this Friday night at 7:30 kickoff against the Andrews Mustangs. We were talking just a few minutes ago, and you said you couldn't think of the last time the Westerners were ever 2-0, if they've ever been 2-0, or at least win 2 straight games in a row.
They've done it at some point with 3 state championships to their name. I just don't know when the last time it's happened since 1975, the last year winning season. I think they're district champs that year. I don't know when. I would say it's probably 2 decades at least to start off, and that's it's worrisome for me. You got to find a way. That'll keep me up at night this week thinking about it. But I know these guys in our locker room, they're not going to have a letdown. They're not going to be having a hangover, from last Friday. They've proven that to me. So that's just something for the coach to worry about in private, I guess. But I think we'll come out and we'll be okay. Taking you back to the last week's game. How fun was that at the end in the locker room with the Westerners? Did you say anything to them? It was special. It was fun. Yeah, I went up there and we got them all in the middle of the locker room, and I don't even remember what I said. Next thing I know, they're all in there. I was in the middle of a mosh pit. They all did their thing on top of me, so it was a lot of fun. Can't describe it. I couldn't even write about it. I couldn't figure out how to describe it. So just pure, joyful emotion, and that's what this game's all about. He's Jason Strunk, the head coach of the Lubbock County Westerners. It's the turnaround on highschoolfootballamerica.com. Is there a scheduled next blog for you? Should be coming out tonight. All right, very good. That for Jason Strunk, as well. A 7:30 kickoff this Friday night against the Andrews Mustangs. Lubbock County looking to go 2-0 on the season. Coach, thanks for coming in today. Again, congratulations on the win. And let's go get another one this Friday night. That's the plan. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Coach Strunk from Lubbock County. That'll be it for us today for the High School Fan Zone. More tomorrow with Friendship and Cooper here on Double T 97.3 as a High School Fan Zone on Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com.